When surveying 100 people on their deathbed, when asked, "What was your biggest regret in life?" the most common response was that they didn't regret what they did in their life, they regretted what they never got to do. When asking what were the things that they never got to do, one of the most common responses was they wished to travel more often. Growing up, my parents always stressed to me the importance of travel. They taught me that along with school, travel was one of the most effective forms of education. From this, and the research I have gathered, I have learned that traditional learning coupled with traveling is the perfect marriage for becoming a global citizen in the 21st century, due to the fact that traveling helps expand our knowledge, helps expose you to different cultures and uncover different perspectives, and it is a pleasurable way of learning. Traveling helps us expand our knowledge in a plethora of ways. Traveling teaches you history, politics, geography, and more in a way that no class will. In school, you are simply learning history through images or books. This forces you to use your imagination and never truly understand the information that you are seeing. It is just ink on a piece of paper. However, when traveling, you can experience the information you have been reading about firsthand. Albert Einstein once said, "Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience." This combination of experience and information has been proven to better one's understanding of the material and helps imprint this information in the person's brain rather than being forgotten. Another type of education that you can learn from traveling is the life skills that books can't teach. When traveling to a place, you must learn how to be self-sufficient. You must learn how to take local transportation, how to navigate around the city, among many other things. Lastly, traveling will help expose you to different languages and native tongues. This exposure can help you pick up common phrases used to help communicate, which ultimately helps you learn some of the language. Another benefit to traveling is that it exposes you to different cultures and you learn differing perspectives from your own. One of the biggest things you'll notice when traveling abroad is the difference in traditions and customs. From the way you greet people to the way you eat will depend on where you are and their different customs. In America, it is common to greet people with the handshake. However, in Japan, the common greeting for men and women is to bow. If you try to stick your hand out to shake their hand, you will be frowned upon. In America, we typically eat with a fork and knife. However, in the Middle East, they use their hands. If you went to a restaurant in the United States and ate with your hands, you are seen as some sort of wild animal. These traditions and customs, the food they eat, the art they make, all feed into the culture of the place, none of which can be experienced through a textbook. Another thing that traveling does is it introduces you to different perspectives. Growing up in the American bubble, we are taught that success and happiness is measured through monetary gain and materialistic items. However, people around the world have their own version of success. People around the world value having a sense of community, being happy without all these materialistic items. This is where our perspectives differ. Around the world, people grow up in different situations and hold different values, and just by having a conversation with them, you can gain new insight and learn from them. This insight can help you become more open-minded to different types of people and help eliminate stereotypes throughout the world. Lastly, traveling is a very effective form for learning because it is a pleasurable way to learn. This is important because it makes people more motivated to learn. While reading the information in a textbook is highly beneficial, it is not stimulating for the mind. While combining travel with this learning, it becomes way more stimulating. It was found that going to new places and experiencing new sounds, tastes, smells, sensations, and sights leads the brain to form new neural connections, ultimately boosting one's understanding and retention for this information. This combined with all of my previous reasons is why colleges have really began to push for students to study abroad. In the academic year 2015 to 2016, a total of 325,339 U.S. students studied abroad for academic credit, which is up by 4% from last year. Colleges see studying abroad not only as a way to benefit you school-wise, they believe it will help you make connections around the world, better your personal self, make you become more self-sufficient, and ultimately help you get a better job and reach success in America. Overall, traveling is extremely effective in education because it helps expand our knowledge, it exposes you to different perspectives and culture, and is a pleasurable way of learning. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this presentation, it is that yes, traveling is highly beneficial for academical learning. It is even more beneficial in teaching you to be a kind, compassionate, well-rounded human being.
Appreciating the value of travel is nothing new. 1400 years ago, Muhammad said, "Don't tell me how educated you are, tell me how much you've traveled." Thomas Jefferson traveled, and he wrote that travel makes a person wiser, if less happy. Mark Twain traveled, and he famously wrote, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness." I've traveled, and travel has inspired me to be engaged and to do what I can to make a difference. In other words, it's helped me to become a better citizen of this planet. And I hope Thoughtful Travels can do the same for you. Thank you very much.